With the Bitcoin spot ETFs finally out there, we have seen the Sell the News event. Bitcoin's price has been retracing ever since this most bullish fundamental news has gone live. Let's roll that intro and talk about what is going on with Bitcoin. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another walk and talk here in the cold United Kingdom, where we are talking and discussing what is going on with Bitcoin. So many hopes and dreams have been left behind as Bitcoin's price starts to retrace those initial moves to the upside. Is this unexpected? No. We've been talking about this for quite some time on the channel. It shouldn't be news to anybody. We were kind of always looking at Bitcoin's price action as requiring a nice healthy correction to the downside. And although we did see that initial surge to the upside from a FOMO activity for Bitcoin, we have seen the inevitable selling pressure start mounting for Bitcoin and the price has started to pull back down. At the point of recording, we've just dipped down lower than $46,000, and well, we could start to see price really aggressively moving down more towards the $43,000 before support gets found. Now, hopefully this is not the case because we do, believe it or not, on the channel want Bitcoin to be very successful. The entire crypto market, we believe, needs to be successful, and I think in due course and long term, it absolutely will. Now, we are incredibly bullish on cryptocurrency, but it's hard to ignore those bearish factors when we see them in the market. Ultimately, Bitcoin has had this necessary correction, and I don't think it's really even started yet. As I said many times before on this channel, we are expecting Bitcoin and the wider crypto market to correct down more aggressively than we have seen so far. We are targeting out towards $30,000 to $33,000 USD. Now, this particular area is of immense interest because this is an area in the price chart where we actually saw a big breakthrough. That breakthrough hasn't been pulled back down to retest that area of resistance support. So what we're looking for here is to find Bitcoin slowly working its way down during the next couple of months towards $30,000. Now, I know you guys are all about the Bitcoin spot ETFs, and rightfully so, right? They're really bullish and get a lot of eyeballs on the crypto market and Bitcoin specifically. But we have to appreciate that although over $4.5 billion flowed into the Bitcoin spot ETFs yesterday, ultimately that was for shares in the Bitcoin that is held by the Bitcoin spot ETFs. That money is not flowing directly into Bitcoin, even though a lot of people would have you believe otherwise. On this channel, we do believe that hundreds of billions of dollars will eventually flow towards Bitcoin, but not until we see the initial surge of these Bitcoin spot ETFs. Ultimately, I think larger institutional level investment will start coming for BTC, but I'm not expecting that to happen until probably Q3 of this year. Now, the other things that we've seen and other reasons why the price of Bitcoin may have been affected in the last 24 hours or so is, of course, the CPI data. Now, with interest rates being the way that they have been over in the US, it's no surprise that inflation just hasn't been curbed. We see that inflation has come in higher than expected, and that has caused a little bit of a spook in the market. Now, why do I talk about these things? Well, the interest rates are of immense interest to the markets, and specifically the investors who are looking at these opportunities within the stock market or the crypto market. Now, interest rates over in the US, in my opinion, have been somewhat relaxed over the last few months. I think the Federal Reserve really did balls it up by not going more aggressive when they had the opportunity to do so. And I think they are now paying the consequences of this. Now, as we see with the inflation rate rising the way that it has done, this is going to put the Fed at a bit of a position to lift those interest rates once again. Hopefully, they'll be more aggressive so that they can actually get the job done. What will this mean for the stock market and for crypto? Well, as we often see, a higher interest rate over in the US actually puts higher risk assets like cryptocurrency at the lower end of people's desirable assets. So I think for the most part, what we're going to do is we're going to see a lot of, investment and funds flowing away from these higher risk assets like cryptocurrency when the Fed do actually increase their rates. Now, obviously it's not a guarantee that the interest rates will rise in the US, and there's a lot of other issues happening over in the US as well, specifically with the banking crisis that is looming once again, just like it was back in 2023. Now, with interest rates potentially on the rise in the US, it is potentially going to lead us into a bit of a lull for Bitcoin and for the cryptocurrencies. Like I said, nothing is a guarantee, because with a banking crisis over in the US, a Fed pivot is the only way, I think, that they're going to be able to save their economy. So what I mean by that is the Federal Reserve will lower their interest rates rather than increasing them, and they'll turn on the money printer. I don't think that will happen in Q1 though, and so my expectation will be that Q1 will be quite an aggressive sell-off, and we'll see a lot of assets being sold off as people start fearing lower and lower prices. And of course, if we do see interest rates increasing, then we're going to see an increase in that selling pressure. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below, and why not check out this video here where I go through everything in a little bit more detail.